Hey, it's April from the Noble Garden. Lately, I have been talking a lot about my Harvest Basket series. I've been talking to you guys a lot about the garden itself, but today I want to talk about preserving your food. So, not only do I sell my food, but also preserve it. We are still going through our pantry from last year. We've been enjoying our own food being canned. So I want to keep that going this year, even with everything that we have going on. We have to take time aside to get this done. So, as you know, I am in abundance of cabbage, and we tried to sell as much as possible at the farmer's market today, but we still came home with quite a bit of cabbage. So we like steamed cabbage, and so therefore I am going to can it, and I'm just going to take you along my process. So this is my first time doing cabbage. I've had a couple years experience doing the other stuff. I do not find myself an expert in canning. I still look up recipes. I have to watch videos. So I'm not going to really tell you a how-to video. You can just follow me along with what I'm doing in the kitchen. And this recipe I'm using, I got off of Pinterest, so it's most definitely not even my recipe. But join me in the kitchen. So what I'm going to do is I am going to chop us up some cabbage. It's funny, I really thought that I had pulled out everything I was going to need right here so that I can make this video so easy to make, and I forgot to grab a knife, one of the most important things. So to start with canning, the one thing I can tell you that has to be done is you have to sterilize your bottles. And these jars we use all on a regular basis. I know they're washed and they're clean, but the other thing I did was sit them in boiling hot water for, I did it while I was preparing some of the other stuff, but you want a good, 10, 15, 20 minutes. And of course you want clean cabbage that you've already washed. Look how pretty that cabbage is. The other night we made a recipe where I took the cabbage, my garlic from home, and our onions and placed them in like a stir fry with some squash and zucchini. It was so delicious. So in the recipe it says to cut your cabbage the size that you want them. Any of this cabbage that I decide not to put in the jars, I'm actually going to put it in a container. We feed any type of vegetable leftovers to our chickens. You're going to see my dogs around in the kitchen because anytime they hear cutting up vegetables, we normally feed them vegetables. However, the last time I fed them cabbage, one of them had a very upset stomach, and I don't know if it was from the cabbage. It's also the dog that likes to eat anything and everything. And I'm pretty sure she got into something outside because that's just her nature. But just in case it was a cabbage, I don't want to introduce that to her diet again. So this is just going to go to the chickens. pretty cabbage. I did try to pack these as tight as I can. Let me show you what's on the stove, and then we'll get to the rest of this canning. So this is water-based canning. I do have an actual pressure canner, but it's electrical, and it doesn't do quarts. So this is my way I'm doing it. And so I have my water boiling, and then this water that's boiling goes for the jars. So the next part of this, I'm just going off the recipe. Oh, that's a tablespoon. I thought I had grabbed a teaspoon. So I'll just do this first. I'm not a very corned person. I will make a mess with that. So let me just pour me a bowl of vinegar. So you got me a mess with that already. So the two ingredients I just added to that was canned salt and white vinegar. The recipe did call for sugar. I don't even put sugar in it when I cook it on the stove, so I'm not going to add the sugar to it. It's just an ingredient. It should not affect the canning process of it. The next part of this is I have this funnel, and I'm going to put the funnel over, and we are going to go to the stove and use this like that and pour water into it. If you've not ever canned before, these jars have like 3 different lines, and these lines help indicate like where you would stop for water. And so that's what I was looking at, to make sure I stopped with enough water. I did green beans last year, and I did have some trouble with water leaking, and I think because I was putting too much water in it, and it sounds like these are kind of like that. So I'm kind of just being cautious about how much water I put in it. Now those green beans did seal, and every can that I've pulled has been totally fine, and we've been able to eat it, so. I'll go back on the other side for the next part of this. The next few steps, you're going to want to use this little tool. I bought this little like jarring kit. I'm pretty sure I bought mine off of Amazon, but I actually seen them at Walmart. You can also probably use a knife instead of this, but what I'm doing is I'm wanting to get all the bubbles out, which I don't really see a whole bunch. But just want to make sure that it's cool. There's not much in there. Oh, this one has a little bit more than the others did. So the next part, I'm going to take this paper towel, dip it in this white vinegar, and just clean the top. That's supposed to clean it, make sure all residues off of it. Something like cabbage, like this probably doesn't need it. But more stickier stuff like your jams, your jellies, your tomato sauces, something that's just a little bit more on there you would want for sure. These I did dump in hot water as well to sterilize, but that's the next part. You just put these on. And you just want that, you don't want to turn it super tight, just a little bit. Then I'm going to put these in the water. You put the lid over in boiling hot water and you time it for 20 minutes. Then you come back and you take them out and you do the whole process again. As time goes on, you're waiting to hear a pop on these after they're done, and you'll know they've been sealed. And then once you know they've been sealed for about 24 hours or 12 to 24 hours, you can come and take the rim off and the rim can be reused. But the lids are recommended not to reuse. So I will show you guys the end product of canning cabbage. Okay guys, so this part I haven't shown you yet, but you literally pick them up, put them in the water. And then I'm gonna put the lid on, put the timer for 20 minutes. I'll come back and I'll take them out and I'm gonna show you the cooling spot for them. Here are the ones that are done. They look great. I have heard lid popping, which means that they are sealing correctly. And in the morning, I will take the rings off and put them, like put dates on the top and put them in their location in the pantry. Thank you guys for joining me on my cabbage canning journey. I hope it was information. Like I said, it's not exact recipe. I am new at this and I would not 100% say I'm a pro at this, but this is not the first thing I've canned and it won't be the last thing I canned, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.